Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 1, then you are in the right place. If you don't turn off, fool. Okay, thank you. Just taking off the air conditioning. Do you not know what turn off means? That's crazy. Oh, don't start with me. Okay. Anywho, sorry guys. Your reading already starting off a little crazy, chaotic. Okay, so today's reading is going to be about what effect do you have on men and basically how does that affect how they treat you. So it was like an idea that I got briefly and I was like, okay, let me write this down. And I put it in my notes on my phone. It was like, what effect do you have on men? What makes them want to spoil and treat you to certain things? You know what I mean? And we're gonna get into that topic. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around. Okay. We have the Lovers and we have the Page of Cups. Oh, this is so cute. I'm hearing you make them believe in love. Okay. And not even just like regular falling in love. You make them believe in fairy tales. And I'm hearing that song from Shrek. They said love was only true in fairy tales. Or they say I thought love was only true in fairy tales. One of those lyrics, but something about love only being true in fairy tales. So something here about true love, because the Lovers kind of talk about two people being brought together by spirit, by an angel. Okay, and then we have the Page of Cups, which is the first step of like having a crush and falling in love with someone. So it's like you make them believe in love at first sight. Maybe that could be coming through as well. That's the effect you have on men, love at first sight, vibes, you know. But yeah, that's cute. I like that coming through like right off the bat. They said love was only true in fairy tales. And what I always love about this Lovers card in the traditional deck is we always have, let me cover the nether regions. We always have the guy looking at the girl and the girl looking up, right? So it's like he sees her first. He's enamored by her first and she's not even aware that he's like looking at her and kind of like a little smitten, if you will, in this instance, right? So you're just living your own life, doing your own thing, not even watching them or paying attention to men. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not someone who's men-centered, or you like to come off as like a little hard to get or disinterested first, but it's giving, you're not even looking at me, you're worried about me, but you're still like magnetizing, you're attracting my attention from whatever you're doing or wherever you are in the room, kind of thing. Okay, so don't start with me. These blasted cards. I know y'all been through some things, but y'all still good enough to work. Thank you. Okay, let's see what comes through for you guys. We have the Lovers still, and then we have the Six of Cups. Yeah, that's that puppy love is the vibe that was also coming through that I forgot to say. That puppy love, right? Page of Cups, that puppy love. It hasn't really deepened yet. You're still just in like deep like crush vibes, but it's the phase where things are still fresh and new. That could be something that continues with you no matter how old the relationship gets, right? That kid feeling. Stop. And it's funny because I was just talking to a friend of mine, a coworker, and we were talking about Love Island, right? And I remember in the episode where Taylor has to explain why he ditched Alangio, who he had been with for 2 months already, I think, for this new girl. His explanation was, she gives me that kid feeling, right? And you really didn't do that. And I guess the kid feeling is the butterflies wanting to be goofy, wanting to be playful, wanting to be vulnerable, because kids are very vulnerable and honest and truthful. So, you know, wanting to open up yourself, you know, try new things, push yourself out there. All those things are coming through. So I guess for you, that's the kind of effect you have on men, and that could affect why they may want to spoil you or treat you to certain things. You give them that kid feeling, you know, whether it's you being very childlike and playful, or it's them being very nervous and giddy just to be around you. It could be both as well. Brody, stop playing up. You see how I gotta talk to the cards? I gotta slap them up a little bit because they don't know how to act right. Sure. Anyway, I don't wanna do this. Like, I don't want to be mean to the cards, but they just, you know, I can't help it. When you're nice, they try to play games. I sound like the Caribbean parent that's like, well, if you misbehave, I wouldn't have to beat you. Yeah, okay. But it's true. Anywho, let's keep going, or let's begin, because we haven't even gotten any cards yet. So for my group ones, please, Spirit, what effect do my group ones have on men that makes them want to spoil and treat them? Why do men want to spoil and treat them? We have 7 of Swords. See, this is that vibe. And then we have the 8 of Swords. Wow, 7, 8. Interesting. This is a vibe that was coming through a little earlier, which is, like I said, you come off as if you don't really care what they think or care what they do, or you show some sort of like disinterest or facetiousness, if you will. Like, so for example, you saw them when they first walked in the room, but instead of fawning over them, you're acting like, oh, you're just a regular old dude. Why would I even, give you my attention? And they're like, locked in on you and like staring your way, but you're doing everything in your power not to stare at them and give them that validation that they're seeking. So you kind of make them work for it. If these That's don't move. What's that noise? Gee. Anyway, the 8 of Swords is also an energy of like being blind to what's around you. So that's the energy that's coming through. You may be blind to when men are flirting with you or showing you some kind of romantic interest or wanting to buy you something. You're really blind to that, and that's something they find very, endearing. Very, I'm hearing adorable. Okay, good day. Don't do that. No one wants to be called adorable. We're not children. Okay, let me stop. Because I was out last night and this guy was like, something about calling me a girl. And he's like, oh, a woman. I'm like, I don't mind being called a girl. Shoot, let me stay in my girlhood for as long as I can, right? It's ghetto being an adult. I don't want to be a woman. I'll take girl. And everyone was laughing. I'm like, I'm serious though. I'll be a girl, like, for as long as I can hold on to that. Okay? And I'm in no rush to grow up. It's ghetto as an adult. Anywho, and that's what is coming through for you. Like, yes, exactly. Coming back to that, you give off very childlike, playful, innocent energy, because the 6 of Cups that was at the, middle of the deck is that kind of childlike energy, freely giving love, not expecting anything in return. Nothing is like transactional. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna give you this, but you got to give me this back, right? You know what I mean? It's very much innocent. Go with the flow, see where things go, let things flow freely. We're not putting pressure on things. And that's something that's coming through for you guys. But 8 of Swords is also not being able to see the forest for the trees, not being able to see what's going on around you, being in a victim mentality, purposely keeping the blindfold on. So there is that aloof nature to you that's not all that aloof sometimes, Or it could be aloof, like, how kids are innocent, not really thinking about love and, body parts and other, opposite sex and whatever like that. The kids don't worry about all that. The kids just want to play and have a good time, and they're there for a good time, not a long time, child. These kids have short attention spans. They want to play with their friends. They're not worried about love. And that could be your vibe as well, which is why men want to treat you, because you're not maybe putting pressure on them to be something that they're not, or do things that they don't want to do, that kind of thing, Very cute. Okay, relax. Like, come on now. Can I get one more card for my group ones, please, Spirit? Why do men want to spoil and treat my group ones? What effect do they have on men or people, women, if you want to? Watch for that as well. I don't want to be, exclusive. I want to be inclusive. And that could also be another sign as to why they want to spoil and treat you, because you're very inclusive and not exclusive, Interesting. So there's an ease to like being around you and being with you as a romantic partner that I feel like they can pick up on. And then we have the Hermit, and you keep to yourself. There's something here about you not being interested in like, not just love, but having too many people in your life. You may not be the person that wants to be popular and be surrounded by people. You may like just attract people and attention quite easily, but like I said, you don't realize it. You know what I mean? You go from being by yourself to making friends with everyone around you, because your energy is just given like that open, honest, beautiful soul child, Soul child, interesting. Music Soul Child is an artist. You guys could like give off that kind of vibe. He's very much open, very lovey-dovey. I feel like he was like one of the first certified lover boys that I had the pleasure of listening to with music. I'm saying I'm sure like his song is playing in my head, but I can't get the melody right. But this is a song by Music Soul Child. It's like beautiful. He's like literally like doting on and telling a woman how he feels. What's love? Da, 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 da. Show me the way to surrender my heart. Girl, I'm so lost. Teach me how to love. How I could get my emotions involved. Teach me, show me how to love. I think that's Music Soul Child. Don't quote me on that, because I have no way to confirm that right now. I wonder if the computer is working. Like, do I have a way to confirm that if I wanted to? Give me a second. Okay, so thankfully for you guys got lucky. The computer's working today. But the beginning of the song says, I was told the true definition of a man was to never cry, work till you tired. Yeah, got to provide. Yeah. Okay, always be the rock for my fam. Protect them by all means. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm trying to be serious. Okay, protect them by all means and give you the things that you need, baby. So that could be people wanting to protect you because you are giving off this very innocent, fresh face, dewy-eyed, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed vibe, and that kind of brings out the protector or protective instinct in the men to like, okay, we have to protect, we have to provide, we have to, hold close and stuff like that is coming through. And that's what's coming through. It's kind of like daddy vibes, if some of y'all are into that. I know some people out there into that. Okay, anyway, that they want to be the daddy in some kind of way, but not in the weird creepy way, but a man who loves you, who provides for you, takes care of you, teaches you the way of the world. That's what a father does for their child. This man wants to do that for you in the romantic sense. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, I hate people who want to make things weird. Like, things don't have to be weird. Of course, you don't want to date your own father, but someone who makes you feel safe the way your father did or didn't is cute. Mind your business. Like, anywho, moving on. But it says, trying to give you what I never had. Look at that. That's beautiful. You say, I don't know to love you, baby. Well, I say, show me the way. I keep my feelings deep inside, shadow them with my pride eye. I'm trying desperately, baby, just work with me. And then it goes into the chorus. Teach me how to love. Show me the way to surrender your heart. Girl, I'm so lost. Teach me how to love. This is so beautiful. You could teach men how to love, right? Oh, this is making me emotional for no reason. I can't. Like, there's so many people out here who just want love, and it's like just so hard for them to open up. So when you find someone you can open up to, it's just the most gorgeous thing ever. And I don't mean like, talk and have conversations, like really truly open up to, like, bare your soul. It's anyway, let me stop. I'm done. Yeah, that's coming through very heavily for them as well. So it's like, I want to give you what I never had. I'm trying to give you what I never had. Oh, I forgot a line. He says, and give you the things that you need, baby. Our relationship is suffering, trying to give you what I never had, So maybe this is like them wanting to like coddle you, and you're like, no, I'm grown. I'm not looking for someone to protect me. Leave me alone. And them still saying, but I still want to protect, that kind of thing. It becomes overbearing. He's like, and they're like, to a certain extent, okay, if you don't want that, then what do you want? So someone who's open and willing to listen is really cute vibe coming through as well. You make them want to change or be who you need them to be, right? Yuck. It's giving, Jacob from what is it called, Twilight, where he's like, where you would do anything and be anything for her, when he's talking about imprinting. I can't stand Jacob, guys. I really just don't like that man. I don't like him at all. Like, anywho, this is not about me, but yeah, that's what he was saying when he was explaining imprinting to Bella. Like, gravity is no longer holding you to the earth, it's them. Like, you would do anything, be anything for them. And I remember that there was this weird scene in, I believe it was New Moon, where they're walking on the beach, or she's with his like pack, and there's this one grown man or teenager who imprinted on a child, and he's like following behind her, and it's just weird. I don't know why Stephanie would even add that. And it's funny. It's, oh my gosh, guys. And doesn't that tie into what I was saying about these men seeing you as like kitty? Not kitty, that sounds nasty, okay? Seeing you as young and youthful, okay? Seeing you as someone that needs to protect and show the way and that kind of stuff. And that kind of thing, guide is the word I'm looking for. They see you as like this young person that needs protecting and coddling, and And I'm talking about like someone wanting to be your daddy, and I'm like, now we're getting to the freaking nasty example in New Moon where the boy is like just running after her, doing anything for her, being her best friend. I'm like, did Stephanie not think about that? Because she's an actual child. It's a different dynamic when you're a grown-ass woman and you're doing with a grown-ass man and there's consent involved and y'all getting into which I get into, right? I'm not gonna yuck anybody's young, but she was a child and that was a teenage, dang near grown-ass man, right? And talking about, oh, he imprinted on her. What the hell do you mean, Stephanie? Please, stop it. It's nasty. Very nasty. But anyway, that's funny how that came through. And I was talking about them seeing you as someone they want to, like, you know, coddle, protect, give, serve. I keep wanting to say serve, so I'm going to say it. I keep stopping myself from saying it, but it wants to come out. So serve, okay? Spoil, treat, whatever, all those good words, you know, you love to hear that. But that's the vibe that's coming through for you guys, and that's how I guess men feel. But they're gonna be anything and do anything just to be around you, even if it means just being your friend. Still weird, Stephanie, still weird. We have to talk about that, because what do you mean? Anyway, moving on. That could be something coming through, that kind of dynamic where they just want to take care of you. It doesn't have to be weird, doesn't have to be H-play, doesn't have to be daddy, dog, doesn't have to be any of those things, right? It just has to be they want to take care of you and provide for you. Period. Okay. They want to learn the things they need to learn to love you right. And that's it. Now, let's continue on. I'd be getting lost in passionate tangents. If you're not new here, you're not new to this, y'all true to this, and I appreciate y'all for coming back. Okay. Group 1, please, Spirit. What effect do my group 1s have on men? Why do they want to spoil and treat them? You have size. Yeah, you're just giving like a little damsel minding your business, you know. And then we have gift. Wow, we have size and we have gift. Like as soon as you sigh, he's like running. What's wrong? Do you need something? What do you want? Do you want a new bag? Do you want to do you off? Are you tired? Are you hungry? Are you mad? Like that kind of thing. Like just being an eager puppy, you know, that puppy love, like I was talking about exactly. Being an eager puppy wanting to please, right? And you're kind of giving, like I said, the 8 of Swords, 7 of Swords, black cat energy of like, stay away, leave me alone, I don't want you. But they're like being an overeager puppy that wants everyone to be their friend and love them and care for them. That's the kind of vibe you bring out in these men. That's the effect you have on them. You're making them puppies, golden retrievers to your black cat. Because I was saying that you guys are aloof and you're not trying to look their way or acknowledge them too soon, if at all. And they're kind of like, okay, what do I have to do? I have to offer gifts? Like when you're sighing and you're upset about something, they're hopping on it. What's wrong? Are you okay? Are you hungry? Right? Like kind of like worshiping, like I said, serve you. That one to come through for a reason. But anyway, let's go one more card, please. What effect do they have on men, my group 1s? I was told the true definition of a man. The room, and look, we have service. That's funny. Period. We have service, but the room is kind of giving me sanctuary vibes. But there was another thing it was giving. Is that what it was giving? Yeah, to give you like a safety, a reprieve, somewhere to stay, somewhere to rest your head, somewhere to feel safe. You know, it's a vibe that's coming through from the room. Okay. They're going to cook. They're going to clean. As long as you're there, child. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm like that, you know. Just don't leave me. They could be a little needy, these men that like you. Why does it look weird? Like the cards acting up. Okay, because these 3 are not properly, like, spread out. We have service, we have priest, and then we have prison. This is a very interesting group of cards here. So service, I already showed you, of course, wanting to be of service. Then we have a priest. Okay, it's kind of like worshiping you, putting you on a pedestal kind of energy. Or even being a spiritual advisor if you must. If they're older and more experienced, they're kind of like teaching you how to, you know, experience the world, live in the world. Like I said, an older person is giving Hierophant vibes, you know. And the Hierophant is someone who provides comfort for a mass amount of people. And people come to him for advice, just for listening ear. That's the kind of person they want to be for you. That's the effect you have. And then we have this prison. So there is something like, like, I don't know, like very seducing about your energy and the vibe you bring and bring out in them specifically. It's kind of like they can't escape it. With the 8 of Swords coming through at the prison, it's like, okay, I'm always thinking about her, wondering what she's doing, wanting to make sure she's okay, worrying, you know what I mean, wanting to see her, be around her, like that kind of energy. Very interesting. Let's get some dice. We'll start off, we're going to start doing this separately instead of doing all of them at once. We're going to get the zodiac. So this could be your zodiac sign. This also can tie into what, you know, make men want to spoil you as well. It could be a vibe you give off, the vibe you bring out in them. Okay, just confirming your sign, sun, moon, rising, all that good stuff. Zodiac signs. We have Sagittarius. So this is the seeker, someone who's always looking for more knowledge, more adventure, more. They're ruled by Jupiter for a reason. Jupiter's expansion, nothing's ever enough, okay? Never enough. Never enough is coming through from The Greatest Showman, right? So never, I'm hearing never too much. Like no time with you is ever enough. No, it's never too much either. How cute. Oh, this is so adorable. Stop it. But continue. There's also another song that's coming through. No, it wasn't just that one. There's a song, I don't know if it's the same song that I'm thinking of, by Luther Vandross, where he's like, let me look it up. Yes, this is the exact song that I was singing. I just didn't know a part yet. So, I can't fool myself. I don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love fantasy. There's not a minute, hour, day, or night that I don't love you. You're at the top of my list because I'm always thinking of you. Like I said, okay? I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you, how I spent my day dreaming, planning how to say I love you. You must have known that I had feelings deep enough to swim in. That's when you opened up your heart and you told me to come in. Oh, my love. Hey, come on now, don't stop it. 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. Yeah, Never Too Much by Luther Vandross is coming through. These songs are fire, and they're very much giving, like, you know, R&B, soul. So that kind of, you know, soul, blues, sadness, depth, grief, like all those vibes are coming through. I like this group. Come on now. Take them to their knees, child. Anyway, I'm done. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, Never Too Much, Luther Vandross is coming through, and then also Teach Me How to Love. Like I said, Music Soul Child. I think another song was coming through. There was a song by Ariana Grande that was coming through, but I can't remember what it was. I was trying to get Teach Me How to Love, and then Ariana Grande song was coming through, but then it went away, so I guess it wasn't important. Anyway, we have, is this Scorpio? Sexies. We have Scorpio and Sag, and this is so freaking funny because I was just talking to a friend yesterday, or I should say a coworker. I don't know if we've reached friend status yet, but we went out doing karaoke last night. And she had recently met a guy on a vacation. I'm telling her business, I'm sorry, but y'all know who she is, so who cares? And she was like how they had been talking and the guy was like providing for everything she needed. So essentially she went on a trip to San Diego, right? To go to a festival in Mexico. Okay. She was in San Diego, but then she had a hostel in San Diego. She was staying at a hostel, and then she was traveling over the border to Mexico like every day for the festival. And then she met him sometime, and they hung out, and he was like paying for Ubers everywhere. He was treating her to lunch. They met and had a good time at the festival. They went back to the hostel, but she's not allowed to have visitors at the hostel. You know, they're very strict about that. So he was like, no worries. He rented a whole hotel room separate from his friends because he was there with friends. He rented a hotel room for her to sleep in because he wanted to be able to hang out with her. And I'm like, what? Like, yo. Okay, that's not magic. And we have Taurus when I flick the dice, but we're going to go back to Sag, okay? But I got a little too excited. And I'm like, period, okay? He paid for the hotel room. They got up every day. They were going to lunch. He hung out with his friends. So it was giving already meeting the friends. And they were talking and she was telling me about it. I'm like, yes, period, sis. But the thing that brought it up is she's a Sag, and he's a Scorpio. So that's like a beautiful match. So it's definitely giving, I mean, I guess that story was supposed to come through. He bought everything, paid for everything. And she was like, do you ever just meet those men that take care of you so well that they make you want to take care of them as well? And I'm like, yes, I have experienced that in my life. just once, but yes. And I'm like, that's beautiful though. Love that for her. But that's the dynamic coming through here, like where they take care of you so well that you can't help but want to do things for them as well, you know? So reciprocated kind of situation, I guess. Because this is not supposed to be our relationship, but it could be if you're in one. And this is like matching what your person does for you. I kind of feel like I cheated with that when I stopped it from rolling. Let's see what comes out. We have 6th house, and then we have the 2nd house. I'm hearing road again, but I really don't want to. Okay, we will. 5th house. Okay, so we had 4th house come through. We had 6th house, and then we have 5th house. So 4, 5, 6, very funny. 4th house is family, home, feeling safe, foundation, roots. Okay, homebody vibes, rules, Cancer. So Cancers are coming through. Then we have the 6th house, Virgo, very clean, routine, health, fitness, stuff like that, healing, right? Day-to-day work, that kind of stuff. And then we have 5th house, and which is Leo, and it's all about being playful. It's fun, being in your inner child energy all the time, creativity, romance, dating vibes, right? Giddiness. This is also the child, the house of children. Like if you want to know what your kids are gonna be like, you look at the 5th house, or how many kids you have, whatever. Something about that in astrology. 5th house has to do with your kids, okay? So that's coming through as well. And we were talking about that a lot in this reading, so boom. But 5th house, very childlike energy. I love that this came up. This feels right. I don't feel like having to, do it again. But 2nd house is also security and stability. So they want to provide that for you so you can continue being in this 5th house energy, okay? 5s also represent like change as well, big incoming changes. So you either make them, like I said, want to do big change, or when you're in their life, things like change quickly, or you change them for the better. I don't know. Something like that is coming through. Last shuffle. These are the planets now. We have South Node. That's that past, that 6 of Cups energy coming through. They feel like they've known you before. Past life energy. And then we have Moon. Yeah, they're emotionally tied to you from a past life. They feel like they've met you before. They've seen you before. They know you, Like, I know him. I know him. Let me stop. Not Kiki coming through. Kiki, get out my reading. But anyway, that's the vibe that's coming through. Emotional depth, like someone sees you to your core, to your soul, right? And it cuts you to the quick, child. But anywho, I hope this reading resonated. That's all about all that I have for y'all. I don't want this reading to be too long, but I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you want to get in touch with me, inquiries, reading inquiries, all that kind of stuff, my email is in the description box below. Just email me and I will definitely get back to you, okay? But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in your next one, right? Thank you for allowing me to read for you, and bye-bye. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 2s. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 1, or you just find your way here, you don't know how, you don't know where you are, what year it is, welcome. I'm the Pleiadian Priestess. Thank you for joining me here today. Today's reading is going to be about what effect do you have on men that makes someone to spoil/treat you. This could just basically be what effect you have on men, but I wanted to add a little extra layer to it. And it's like, what about the effect that the things you do to them makes someone to spoil and treat you, So let's get into it, right into it. Let's get the cards together. I need to shuffle this. Ooh, don't do that. The Lovers, wow. And you see, guys, I tell you, Spirit be thinking they're funny and they're really not. I fight Spirit, and I know y'all know that. Anyway, I was shuffling your cards, and at the bottom of the deck was the Lovers card. And I'm like, no, we're gonna put that aside because that came out for group 1. I don't want constant repeating cards. So I shuffled again and removed itself from the bottom of the deck, but I feel like I shuffled in a way where it was almost imperative that it would leave the bottom of the deck. And I shuffled it, said I'm going to be done. I'm going to shuffle out for your reading. But some things like, no, keep shuffling. And as I try to keep shuffling, this falls out and shows itself. So you have the Lovers that wants to be seen, guys. Well, take it out. Okay, there's some nudity, so I'm not trying to have an alternate camera. And under that, we have the 2 of Cups. And then we have the World. And then we have the Ace of Cups. What the hell, LeBron James? I think that's all I'm going to take. No, I wanted to shuffle. Guys. Oh my gosh, y'all are giving me trouble already. Okay, so we have world, we have the lovers, we have the two of cups, kind of giving whirlwind romance, and then we have the ace of cups. Wow, these are gorgeous. And then she naked too, child, your body. Okay, we'll put it that way. Okay, the innocent cards. Well, the ace of cups comes first. So the ace of cups and the two of cups is like first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby and a baby carriage, is what I just heard. So maybe it's kind of like you guys taking the necessary, I was going to say prolonged, no, that's not the right word, you're taking the necessary steps to build a deep connection. You're not rushing into anything, you're not doing too much, doing too little. It's proper like relationship dating vibes, because some people tend to love bomb, some people tend to not do anything at all and leave you hanging. You guys are doing just enough. You're calling at the right times, you're going on constant dates, getting to know each other. It's giving slow burn, slow building, you know, having love for yourself, showing love for them, having respect for yourself, having respect for them. You know, just like a very well-rounded individual or a person, you know, someone you can truly and freely give your heart to, knowing that it's safe, because they are a secure person. They're not immature. They're not jealous, you know what I mean? They're not insecure. That's a big one as well, right? They're not toxic. They're just a regular, not regular. I don't like calling nobody regular. But you're just not simple either. Excuse me, I don't like these words. But whatever, you're regular, super, see, super, I like that one. But I didn't mean to say it, but it came through. You're a superb human being, right? You're someone who has their stuff together. You have a job, you have that stability, you have that secure nature to you, you have that confidence, right? You have the own place. It's like giving the bachelor slash bachelorette, someone who has their life together and now they're ready to enter into a relationship. That's the kind of energy, mature vibes that you're bringing to the function. And or that's the effect you have on them. They see someone who's very well rounded, someone who's very educated, someone who's very mature, someone who has their life together, someone they can see themselves building stuff with, and that makes someone to jump all in, because we're going straight from the ace of cups to the two of cups to the lovers to the world. So immediately after this being around you and your presence, they're ready to like revolve their whole world around you, right? So there's a quality about you that kind of gives like intoxicating, if you will, but not in like a negative way. It's kind of like you're healthily drinking kombucha or whatever to make your body healthy, and you want to drink a lot and too much of it. But even things that are good can be like not good if you do it in excess. So now you make them want to temper themselves, right? And not do too much and not do too little, just enough, just right. Is vibe that I was coming. That is the vibe that was coming through. Where you're dating, you're taking all the right cues. You know what I mean. You go on the first date. I want to see you again. I want to see you again. Get home safe. Text when you get home. By the time you get home, they call you. I really had a good time. Don't want to keep you too long, but I'm just telling you that I really like having, seeing you, meeting you, dating you, whatever. When can I see you again? Yeah, plan the date same night. If not same night, next day. Okay, next day shipping, Amazon Prime. Let me stop. I'm getting crazy. And after that, you have another date, and then another date, and another date, and you guys text occasionally. You have little phone calls, so you're just like building a very healthy connection from scratch. And that's something that they know they can do with you because they feel that security within you, because it also reflects from them, or it reflects in them, something like that. So because they're stable and you're stable, you're intelligent, they're intelligent, you can hold a conversation, they can hold a conversation, you can open yourself up and be vulnerable, they can do the same thing. You have a good job, so do they. You're self-confident, so are they have a good friend group, so do you. You came from a good family, so did they. Like it's kind of giving that vibe where it's like tit for tat. Like, oh, I went to boarding school. So did I. I went to Oxford for college, for schooling, whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so did I. What year were you there? Like, it's giving proper, like, high society vibes, And I feel like people who tend to come from, like, very stable, even if your parents weren't the greatest, right? They were both in the household and they taught you how to be a secure individual, an independent woman, man, whatever. You can go into the world and have secure connections because you have that upbringing that instilled those beliefs in how a man should treat a woman, how you shouldn't treat her, and you know what you deserve. And some people don't get that luxury, right? So you are given like very luxurious. You have a good head on your shoulders. You're very intelligent, very witty. Okay, I'm hearing you're very quick-witted. You have like quips that come out really, really cutely. You know what I mean? Really, I'm hearing organically as well. You could be really funny. You tell like really dry jokes. You're giving a Brit. Okay. How they have like very dry humor, that kind of thing. They're very self-deprecating and in a cute kind of way, because they know that but there's also elitism there, I should say, because people who are from, Britain or England, they have a little bit of stushness to them. Oh, they do. Best believe. So while there is that self-deprecating humor, there's also that belief that we are the United Kingdom. We are the tippity top tier of the human race, essentially. And that it's like two like alpha people coming together, or alpha and a beta, two people that were meant to like connect, like two magnets that just connect like that together. That's the kind of vibe that comes through. So it's kind of like they've been searching their whole life for you. It's the vibe that comes through. And it's like, oh my gosh, I finally found someone who has a good career, a good head on their shoulders. They're attractive. They believe in themselves. They're confident. They're ambitious. And it's like just knocking off all the boxes, ticking off all the boxes they've made for what they want for a true connection, a perfect person. And you're giving all those, factors. And it's kind of like, oh, wow. And that makes someone to treat you and spoil you, because they finally found the freaking unicorn, the needle in a haystack they've been looking for. And they can build a healthy connection, not have no love bombing and not have no ghosting and chasing and running. It's like no karmic activity at all, right? No toxicness at all. We're both grown and we're both know what we want. And it's so refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air, honestly. I don't get these many connections coming through in the reading, whether this is a connection coming through or just how men view you, right? And what effect you have on them. It's kind of like, oh, this is someone I can't play about, or someone I do not want to play about. I can't, is it twist her chin, yank her chin? I can't gaslight her. I can't do this, because she's secure in who she is. She knows what she deserves, and she will kick me to the curb if I start acting up. It's giving me, what's his name? The male version of this is like, I think his name is Dwayne from, what's the name of the show? Why is it not coming through? Is it In Living Color? I don't think it is. Wow. I'm blanking so hard right now. But I know that show with Dwayne and Whitley, that show, right? Where she was like, and the next time you do that, I'll drop you like a bad habit, Whitley. I will, because there was something here about her saying you can't go out with your friends, you have to stay with me, and you just want to go with the buddies and watch a sports show, and she's making a big deal about it. And he's like, if you ever like ignore me or don't say you're never going to talk to me again, if I go out with my friends, I'll drop it like a bad habit, Whitley. And I love you, but I will. And he was very laying down the law kind of a fellow. And we loved it. Or I do. Let me speak for myself here. Loved it. He was like, I love you. Like, you know what I mean? But if you ever say you're not speaking to me again because I'm going out with my friends, I will drop like a bad habit. There's one scene in the show, and the show's not coming through. How annoying. It could be a living color. I don't think it is, though. Oh, that's so ghetto. I know the show, I promise. Back to reality. Yeah, it's not coming through, but the show is not important. Just that scene is coming through where he's like very much standing on business. I love you. I love who you are as a person. You're great, honestly, right? But if you ever say I can't speak to my friends, you're not going to speak to me if I go out with my friends, girl, the way you would be kicked to the curb, thrown out the window, and be like a thought that was lost that I can't remember even happened, right? A bad habit or a bad dream, that kind of thing. I love that. It's giving secure. These connections do not come through quite often. So when this kind of stable, secure, mature love comes through, it's very much like tea, it's eating, it's giving all of that stuff. Okay, now we have the Lovers and we have the World. So it's kind of like giving this person wants to, it's like how they say when someone's attracted to you, their pupils get blown because they want to see as much of you as possible. That's kind of what I'm getting here from the world card, where this would be the, what is it, the pupil or the cornea, whichever one expands, and you are in the middle of that, so their eyes are getting as big as possible so they can see as much of you as possible. Like attraction is coming through. Then we have a naked body here, two naked bodies here, so like a very organic attraction and chemistry coming through. You know, banter back and forth, the conversation flowing. I'm getting a lot about conversation, smarts, wits, intelligence coming through. That's very sexy to them. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I could have conversations with her. She's sexy, she's stable, like all the things I keep saying, you know, she's ambitious, she's this, he's that. Oh my gosh, he has his own house, he's secure. Like if he has kids, he takes care of them. Like, bars right now, bars. And that's the kind of energy coming through. For the effect you have on these men out here. They're kind of like, yeah, that's wifey material right there. But you're also very attractive as well because they're trying to see as much of you as they possibly can. And okay? And the world card always does kind of give me whirlwind romance as well. When it comes out in a love reading, it's like you are the center solar central focus. There it is. You are the central focus of you're the apple of their eye, essentially. And then we have a lover's card coming through, meaning they feel that soulmate connection with that bond that they can't find with other people, with you. And it's tied and rooted in that belief, or concept that you are the person they were always meant to meet, because you're ticking off every single box they've ever made: the looks, the smarts, the job, the ambition, the everything, right? The morals, the values, that kind of vibe is coming through. Okay, so that's what's coming through with the Two of Cups here. It's definitely giving on the same page energy. We want the same things out of life energy. Okay. And then the fact that we have like this fierce line on top is kind of giving like fierce loyalty. Like there's no, like they're literally pledging themselves to each other here. It's giving how when you get married, you do the whole arm thing with you feeding them the cake in your hand, and them feeding you the cake from their hand, and you have to kind of like do like a maneuver so you guys both get their hand feeding you cake, but in a cute way. But it's difficult. Like you wrap your hand around here and they wrap their hand around there, and in some way, somehow you're feeding them and then they're feeding you. Or even I think it could be you feeding yourself and them feeding themselves. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But that's the vibe coming through. We're intertwined, right? And then this symbol right here is the Duh, I can't. But it's the symbolism of Apollo and medicine and healing, right? I'm trying to remember what it is, but I can't remember. It doesn't really matter the name of it, but that's what this represents. You know, healing. You know, there's care here. There are competent people who know what to do to make you feel better, right? They know what to say, how to act, right? It's meant that you act. That is definitely coming through. The effect you have on men is because of the way that you act, right? Your principles, your knowledge. And it's also giving me the oath that doctors have to take. Like, do no harm. They cannot, is it kill, harm, or maim? Something like that. They have to do a pledge. Is it the indoctrinated, something like that? But it's like a doctor's pledge. They can't do any harm. They can't like actively unalive someone, even if they wanted to, even if they're in the presence of the biggest evil in the world. They're not allowed to unalive that person, right? Because they're a doctor, first and foremost a healer, and that means not taking life. Okay, is it the Sclupus? The Sclupsus? Like, what is it called? Nope. Give me a second, guys. It's a catechus. I'm talking about sclepsis. Child, I'm making the words. That's crazy. Anywho, the symbol for medicine or two is two snakes coiled around a staff. So Yeah, it's the official insignia of the United States Medical Corps, Navy Pharmacy Division, and Public Health Service. Okay. So that's what's coming through here. But it's like perfect harmony, working together beautifully, you know, partners in all things and everything. Okay. Yeah, see, the rod of Asclepius is the historically correct symbol of the medical profession. I know I wasn't crazy. Don't do that. See, I'm never gonna doubt myself again. I'm never gonna doubt myself again because I was right. It's the Asclepius or the Asclepius, whatever. I don't know. Hey, look it up yourself, child. Anyway. Oh my gosh, I can't. My body is aching, child. I didn't get no sleep last night. I got 3 hours of sleep because I was out all night. Would not recommend, but it was fun. So, I mean, maybe I would. Anyway, anywho. But yeah, it's definitely giving responsible, level-headed, calm, intelligent, mature. All those things make men want to spoil you because those are the things you represent to them. But also you bring like a lot of love into their life, a lot of full circle moments. The world also represents accomplishments, coming to the end of a cycle. I'm finally done looking for people. I found my one. I found my one. And that's what's coming through right here. I'm also getting the whole Meghan and Harry whirlwind romance vibe coming through. But they've been through so much and they're still kicking it. They're still together, right? They've been through so many things. The world was against them for a minute there. You know, he had to go through the process of, you know, disentangling himself from the, what do they call themselves? Majesty from the royal family. Sorry. And it's funny how I was talking about England and now we have Harry coming through. Exactly. There's something here. There could be connections that you guys could be watching from, you know, the UK. Love y'all, fella. What up? What up? But it's definitely giving something here about, like, you know, prim and proper, and you came from good stock, good family, right? Even a royal family, even a rich family where you know your worth and you're not going to settle for anything less, and that's something they find very attractive. Something here about you can be like very sure of yourself. You guys could be Leos for some of you. I do believe Meghan is a Leo, and there's just something about her that people love to say is like stuck up and full of herself. And like I think Harry is that very self-deprecating Brit that I was talking about. That's beautiful. That is coming through again. And she's like the self-assured American. So this could be a connection, or just men. You would get along well with men from, you know, the UK because you're very much giving good stock. And they're giving good stock, and it meshes really well, you know? But yeah, people love to say that she's too stuck up and full of herself. And I'm like, I don't really follow the whole lore behind them. But they're cute. Later. But they're cute. We love to see them. They have beautiful kids. They keep their life very private. They do seem both very mature, good head on their shoulders, both successful. She had her fame before she even met that man. He, you know, went to the army, was in the Corps, was, you know, built up in like a very strong structure, you know, and you guys both have that background in you where you have, like I said, the morals, the values, the ambition, you know, and that's something they find very attractive. That's something they want to continue with you into the next generation. They know, like, I want a specific kind of woman, and that's what the box you full, or a specific kind of person, you know, not to put gender on it, and that's the role that you fill for them. And it's like, okay, every box that I have, they're ticking off the box. That's it. Period. Okay. That's what's coming through. Now let's get some cards from this deck here. I feel like I've been repeating myself a lot, and I apologize for that. But I want to, you know, bring it on home. Now that song is coming through by Sam Cooke. Bring it on home to me. Yeah. Oh, if you go. Whatever. He's like, if you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, just bring it on home. Bring it on home to me. Yeah. But that's another song that I was talking about. If I go, I think it's another Sam Cooke song. So you guys can be, you know, giving that vibe as well. Old school, back in the day, you know, that kind of love. And we have Old Woman, yes! Period. Exactly. It's giving that old school 90s and, I can't even say beyond. What's the word? Beyond, below, and before, okay? 90s and before kind of love. Where it was like, we're in it through thick and thin. Nothing's gonna happen. Love is so flimsy and fragile and ghetto in the 2000s and beyond. We don't like it. It's hard to find love, hard to find people who are faithful. I kind of feel like love was very, I feel like there's still some good love out there. And I feel like maybe Meghan and Harry embody that. Of no matter what we go through, no matter what our family says, we are going to stick this out and live our best life. Okay. We have cheerfulness. So there's something here about, I'm hearing, house parties or, house parties where you have your fancy friends come over and talk about books and literature and all that kind of stuff. And they have their friends come over and you guys, like, your lives just mesh surprisingly well. And the world is kind of giving like travel, well-traveled, that kind of thing. What card is this? We have merchant and we have him at the dock. So yeah, there's something here about well-traveled. You've been around the world. You just know about a lot of things. That intelligence, worldliness coming through. The world is also worldliness. Yes. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Look at us. So we have cheerfulness. We have old woman. That's that wisdom you have. Okay. That's that I'm ready to settle down right now. That's that back in the day kind of love. I'm not gonna sit here and watch you do all this and play games, even though some people back in the days was dealing with some things and tolerating a lot of different things. I do feel like there was I don't know. Those relationships were built based on love and loyalty and trying to get through life together, do this life thing together. Not at the first sign of hardship, I'm leaving. No, this is someone who wants to invest in you, who wants to instill value in your connection, who wants to build it and grow it and make it mean something, right? This is beautiful. This person's very mature, very grown folk, or these people, these men that are coming through, and the men that want to treat you are very like stand-up guys, okay? And then we also have child. Wow, this is beautiful. Oh, stop it. Because they can see a life with you. It's basically what's coming through. It's giving that scene from The Materialist. It was the new movie with Dakota. I won't say Fanning. No, Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal, where Chris Evans in the movie says, when I look at you, I see gray hair and kids that look like you and years down the line, or whatever he was trying to say. It was trying to sound romantic. It was more so giving mid for me, But it was cute. It was a cute line. Like, when I see you, I see gray hair, I see wrinkles, and I see kids that look like you, right? So basically he's saying, I see a future where we are grown, we are wrinkled, I still love you, you're still beautiful to me, and we have kids that just so happen to look like you. That's what all I want out of life. And I think the main thing about that movie, if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna like a brief little spoiler. Essentially, Johnson's character is someone who broke up with Chris Evans' character because he was brokey. Please, I beg, let me stop. He was a brokey, right? And they were always fighting about money, always struggling. And she was like, I had that childhood. I'm not going to have that adulthood or marriage, okay? I can't be with you. That's it. Now she's this high-end matchmaker. She matched people together, yada, yada. She goes to this party and meets Pedro Pascal's character. And he's a billionaire. He's rich. He's tall. He has all the qualities that she's looking for. So he starts courting her, and he's loud. Please watch that movie. He is lavishing her with compliments, and she's just like, I feel like I don't deserve you in some kind of way. Like, I can hook you up with someone who's more your speed. He's like, no, I want you. The things you've done, the way you've handled business, the conversations you've had. I see the sharp intellect in you. And the first time Pedro Pascal's character meets Dakota Johnson's character, he's listening in on the conversation she's having with people where she's promoting herself. She's being ambitious. She's being a businesswoman, right? And she's selling herself and like she has them wrapped around her finger. She's talking them into joining her and like giving like an amazing storyteller essentially. So she's doing her dang thing. And he's seeing her do it, and he's minding his business. And then after the wedding, they meet at a wedding. They do. And he is the groom's brother, and she is the person that got them together, right? There's an after party dinner where they meet, and he's like, I want to get to know you more or whatever. And she just so happens to run into Chris Evans' character once again, her old boyfriend, okay? And then it leads to this whole love triangle, but not a love triangle vibe, where she's trying to figure out if she wants to live the life with Pedro which is giving luxury and everything she's been chasing. She doesn't want to be a kept woman. She just wants to not have to worry about funds and money and have her parents fighting over that. That's something she experienced. She doesn't want to be that couple growing up, which is understandable, right? So she's with Pedro, but they're not really getting really that deep. He's like, I don't want to say love bombing her, but he's telling her how great she is. She is honestly great, and he does believe it, but they're not getting deep. It's just like, oh, I have what you want, you have what I want, right? That's it. Okay, he wants companionship essentially, and she wants security. Period. It's a contractual obligation, a situation. Okay, but more towards the end of the movie, we see things start unraveling, yada yada. But essentially, more towards the end of the movie, Chris Evans' character comes and tells her that as they're at a wedding, they crash a wedding together. And she just needs to get out of the city because something happens at her job where like kind of triggers her, and he comes and takes her away, and they go on this fantastical trip where they crash a wedding and they're dancing, and at the wedding he tells her, oh yeah, I see you with gray hair and wrinkles and kids like you, yeah, whatever. And that's what's kind of coming through here, okay? And then we have this old woman here. So yeah, they see you with white hair, gray hair, and wrinkles. This is beautiful. Full circle reading. I love to see it. And then we have child here. So it's definitely giving they can see themselves having kids with you, future, boom. And then we have cheerfulness, going out and having a good time. One thing she always did when she was with Chris was had a good time. He understood her. They had more time together. Pedro Pascal was like just like one dimensional. I feel like if they would have, that movie pisses me off. 'Cause I'm like, Pedro had so much potential in the movie, and his character fell flat for me, which I think is the purpose because she was meant to be with Chris Evans' character. But at the end of the day, I would have chose Pedro in the movie. I don't give a flying fadoodle. That's just me, right? So watch the movie and let me know if you've seen it, let me know your opinion. If you haven't, watch it and come back and tell me your opinion, because that movie pissed me off. I'm like, yeah, wasted my 2 hours. Anywho. And then we have merchant. So it's definitely giving, she know how to sell herself. It's just giving strong, independent businesswoman who has her ish together, has a good head on her shoulders, is smart, has 5 degrees kind of energy. And that makes them just want to like, not even grovel, but they have such admiration and they just, for you, admiration for you. And they're just in awe of who you are and what you built yourself to become. And this lady you are is just like beautiful, gorgeous. Okay. Now let's get some dice here and see what comes through for you guys. We're going to start off with dice. This could be how you make them feel, the things you bring out in them, or it could just be confirmation on some zodiac sign, sun, moon, rising for you or them. Okay. If you're watching for a specific person. Here we have Capricorn. It's funny because these 2 dice were in the corner, both on Capricorn, and then I shuffled them and it stayed on Capricorn. Very funny. So Capricorn is definitely giving grown folk business, grown folk vibes, mom and dad kind of energy, conglomerate, CEO, entrepreneur. I have my own money, I'm building a legacy vibe, 10th house is also your reputation and how the world views you. So the way this person views you, they view you through your reputation and this persona you have around you. And that's the thing that was where Pedro's character went wrong, I must say, in the movie. And I feel like this person or these people, these men, they don't even have to be your person at all. They are so wrapped up in the persona, in who you could be, who you represent for them, or who you represent, or you could represent for them, essentially. And that's kind of like they get wrapped up in that, the world, exactly how the world sees you. So your reputation is a big thing here. Who you're known as. It's something that men fall for quite easily. And I do believe your reputation is, of course, who you are, but it's not all that you are. There's still like 11 other houses that you have to get to know about a person before you sit here and say, oh, I like you because of your reputation in the world and what you've accomplished for yourself, okay? But this person is very much focused on that. That's their big thing with these men, right? When it comes to you. And then we have Scorpio coming through again. Some of you are from group 1. What up, what up? But Scorpio is like very like deep feeling, very intense energy, right? It's kind of like you meet someone, you have an immediate attraction, immediate chemistry, great conversation, you hit it off. They take you on dates, they're intentional. Before you know it, you're locked up, you're locked in, boom. Okay, love to see it. Okay, Capricorn is 10th house energy and Scorpio is 8th house energy. So of course the SX is good. And I was mentioning that because bodies kept coming through, naked bodies. This person could, or these men could also wonder what it would be like to see you pregnant with their child. Okay, swollen with their child, barefoot or pregnant in the kitchen kind of energy. This person's like very archaic just came through. Wow. This person could be very archaic when it comes to the values they want to have in a household. They want you barefoot and pregnant, stay-at-home mom vibes. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? If you like it, I love it. Okay, very traditional, I could say as well. Now we're going to go on to the houses. We have 10th house, exactly. 10th house, and we have 11th house. 11th house is also like your friends, your worldview, things like that. It's also Aquarius. And we have Capricorn coming through once again with 10th house, okay? Okay, there's nothing more to say. 10th house already came through, honestly. But this 11th house is Aquarius. It's networking, it's friends, it's your social circle vibes. And it also represents the online, the World Wide Web as well. So this could be something about how men view you through social media. If they're watching you, they see you as someone, because the way you curate yourself on social media shows them this kind of person they just admire and they really like. Okay, it's giving boss bee energy. Okay, and then here we have Jupiter, so abundance coming through, and then we have the sun, which is that exuberance also coming through. Why the cards is looking like that? Fix yourself. Okay, that's what's coming through. So the sun is like very bright, very warm, very shining, the one that stands out in the room, essentially. Like I said earlier, there's something here about the look to you that they really like. Okay, your body, okay, your body language does something to them. Then yeah, Jupiter's expansion, that's like expanding your life, expanding your home, expanding your family. That's the kind of energy they think of when they think of you, like, okay, how would she look like burgeoning with my child? Let me stop. This person is archaic. I'm telling you, barefoot and pregnant, burgeoning with my child, swollen with my child. Like, yuck, go sit down. Like, it's cute, but please relax on that. You're doing a lot right now. But yeah. Jupiter also represents abundance. It also represents luck, okay? Yeah. And then the sun is like also a lot of masculine energy coming through. Honestly, to be sure, but I mean, this is a very masculine, very what's what I'm looking for? Very heteronormative, very in their masculine, traditional roles, traditional gender roles is what's coming through for this masculine energy. I'm providing, okay? And you're bringing the warmth. You're bringing the Leo energy. I'm bringing the Sagittarius energy, right? But we're meeting in the middle because you bring something that I don't really have that will add value to my life. So this person's all about the transaction. They're all about the business deal. They're all about business in general. This person could be a business, not this person. This could be a personal reading for some of y'all because I could be watching a specific person. I just keep saying this person. This is men in general. Men in general see you as a high value woman, person, man, and they want more of that, okay? What song is coming through? I'm hearing Luke Bryan, That's My Kind of Night. I got that real good, feel good stuff up under the seat of my big black jacked up truck, big and black. Rolling on 35s, pretty girl by my side. Yeah, pretty girl by my side. Look at that. You got that suntan, dirt, and boots. Waiting on me to look. Waiting on you to look my way and scoot. Your little hot self over here. Girl, hand me another beer. Yeah. All them other girls want to ride you up and take you downtown. All them other boys. But you look like the kind that likes to take you way out. Out where the storm rolls, roll my boat, floating down the Flint River, catch myself a little catfish dinner. This person would also want to be like in the world, in the wild, like that kind of energy, building their own home on some land far away somewhere, living by the water where they could drink and catch fish, and very rustic, okay, very archaic, like I said, caveman, I woman, you man kind of vibes coming through. But that's my kind of night. Like Luke Bryan is coming through. So a country boy kind of living, okay? But I'm going to end your reading here. It went longer than I wanted it to, but it's fine. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could also get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 3s. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 3, you found your way here. You don't know what you're doing here. Welcome. This reading is going to be about what effect do you have on men. But not only that, what do you do that makes someone to spoil you? So essentially, the effect you have on them that makes someone to spoil you, and treat you right or treat you to things, So let's get into it, straight into it, and see what comes through for you. See what comes through for you. We have the Fool, we have the Page of Cups. The Fool is a very carefree energy, so maybe you make them feel carefree. I'm hearing a Hakuna Matata, no worries, for the rest of your days. So maybe when they're with you, they don't have to worry about stuff, or they don't have to worry about you doing anything to hurt them, that kind of thing. Excuse me. Maybe you're very vocal about how you feel about them or how you like them, Let's see what else comes through. We have Temperance. Interesting. Yeah, I would guess the Temperance is very give and take. So for example, the Fool is like a very wild, very carefree, young, wild, and free energy. And then the opposite of that would be someone who's like very mature, someone who's very stable, someone who makes you feel like you can depend on them in the worst of times. I'm hearing it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. And that's literally like, what do they call it? Is it a juxtaposition or like a paradox, where it's like two things can't be true at the same time. They're complete opposites of each other, So it was the worst of times, it was the best of times. Which one was it? What do you mean? It's either or. That's what Temperance in this instance is giving me, okay? Let me just take it off and show it to you. So let's get some actual cards out. The Page of Cups is a very innocent energy as well. It's letting your feelings take you wherever they may. So it's like falling. I'm hearing, I'm falling in love. I'm falling, falling. You're in my head, you're in my bed, or something like that. Falling by Harry Styles is coming through. So it's easy to just like fall into your embrace, fall into your arms, I'm hearing fall into your soul. That's beautiful. Fall Into Me is also coming through by Forest Black. Okay, so when I was looking up the song by Forest Black, Fall Into Me, another song was coming through, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't that song. So they're both by Forest Black, funnily enough. So the first one I was talking about, Fall Into Me, says, "The day that I met you, the world had just spit me out. On my way to the bottom, sure I'd never be found. Then you saw me for me, and you made me believe in myself. On the day that I met you, it all turned around. You said, close your eyes, don't look down." So words of affirmation is definitely coming through. So there could be something here about like you complimenting them, you making them feel like their worries are valid, their ups are valid, their downs are valid. It's kind of giving me an energy of men can like cry and be vulnerable around you. And you're not going to sit there and say, stop being a bee. Like, you're not going to demean them, But yeah. And see, you said close your eyes and don't look down. That's so Fool coded. The Fool is like jumping in and not having to think too much about anything. So it's like I said, either giving you take care of everything, or you just allow them to be carefree and be willing to do anything with you because they know it's going to turn out all right as long as you're there, kind of energy. But yeah, the Fool's like jump in, whatever happens, happens, And that's what this, you said close your eyes, don't look down. Fall into me and I'll catch you, darling. We'll dance in the street like nobody's watching. It's just you and me and the song on repeat in my head, playing over and over. I'm drunk on your voice, high on the moment. I'd fall for you twice if that's what you wanted. Stop it. This is so freaking cute. I'd give you my life from now till forever. I'm falling in love with you over and over again. And that could literally be what the mixture of the Fool and the Page of Cups coming out in the middle of the deck could mean, where the Page of Cups is falling for someone, but in the earliest of stages, it's still pre-love, but you're feeling that giddy, exciting love over and over again. So group one is kind of coming through in your reading, but it's definitely like a different turn. So you could watch group one if you feel like it, but I feel like your reading is like, I don't know, like deeper for whatever reason. But anyway, yeah. But can you imagine I'd fall for you twice if that's what you wanted. That's the line that's coming. Like, what? That is so romantic. So maybe the effect you have on them is you make them want to be like really romantic. Maybe you have them thinking romantic thoughts. Maybe you have them wanting to do things they've never done before for a girl. Maybe they never believed in buying flowers every day to show someone you love them, but they believe in doing that for you. Maybe they never believed in providing and buying everything for the woman, or, you know, wanting to do things for her and treat her until they met you. Kind of, you know, oh, just so little. And then, sorry. And they go on to say, I'd give you my life from now till forever. No. Yeah, I'd give you my life from now till forever. I'm falling in love with you over and over again. Until I had met you, there was no sun in my sky. So it's the experience of new beginnings, which is the Fool, essentially. Yes, absolutely. Coming together the way it was supposed to. The Fool is new beginnings. It's starting over. It's having that butterfly, giddy feeling in your chest, in your throat, but being so high on love that you're gonna do anything to keep it. Falling, i.e., falling in love with them twice if that's what they want. You know what I mean? Oh, this is so beautiful. They're drunk on your voice and high on the moment. So I don't know if that's like literal or just being around you makes them feel like they're intoxicated and high on life, period. Okay. But the next song that was coming through was If You Love Her by Forest Black. And Forest Black is, you know, the regular way of spelling forest, but black is 2 K's instead of BLACK. Okay. But the next song by Forest Black is If You Love Her. And it says, take it. If she gives you her heart, don't you break it. Let your arms be a place she feels safe in. She's the best thing that you'll ever have. She always has trouble falling asleep, and she likes to cuddle while under the sheets. She loves pop songs and dancing and bad trash TV. There's still a few other things. She loves love notes and babies and likes giving gifts, has a hard time accepting a good compliment. She loves her whole family and all of her friends. So if you're the one she lets in, take it. If you give her a heart, if she gives you her heart, don't you break it. Let your arms be the place she feels safe in. She's the best thing that you'll ever have. She'll love you if you love her. Right? And then he keeps saying, on days when it feels like the whole world might cave in, stand by her side and you'll make it. She's the best thing that you'll ever have. She'll love you if you love her like that. Okay? And then he says, kiss her with passion as much as you can. Run your hands through her hair whenever she's sad. So this is definitely giving like an acts of service kind of person, and you're like more of a words of affirmation kind of person. And it's like giving those two mesh really well because this person wants to be affirmed for what they do to you. And they just want to do things for you. That's it. Literally provider mentality. And when she doesn't notice how pretty she is, tell her over and over so she never forgets. So they're also a words of affirmation vibe. But I feel like this kind of person wants to give you all of the love you could ever imagine. They want to overfill you on love because you do the same thing for them. So I kind of feel like there's like a overstimulation a bit when they're with you or around you. Men are like, oh wow, this is too much happening all at once. You know, you're asking them if they're okay, you're taking care of them, you're making sure things are good, and in return they want to do the same thing for you. You know what I mean? This is gorgeous, period. Okay, we haven't even got the cards out yet. The reading can end right here. It's over. It's done. Like they said what they said already. So it's like they wanna step up and like stand up for you kind of thing, you know? Make sure you're always good. Make sure you're feeling safe, you know? They want to cuddle with you under the sheets. They love that they want to know everything about you, right? Okay, so what effect do you have on men? Or just people, if you don't want to watch for men, but you want to watch for people, for your person, whatever you want it to be about, what effect do they have on them that makes someone to spoil them? So yeah, there's something here about being like very open, very vulnerable, being yourself, stuff like that. No judgment is also coming through by now, Horan. When you're with me, no judgment. When you're with me, no judgment. You can save that for everyone else. You don't have to say nothing. You can just be yourself. Yeah, period. Exactly. Okay. We have the Eight of Swords. This person could have like not self-esteem issues, but they need that constant reassurance. Or men, this person, whatever. They need constant reassurance, and you're the person that's giving that to them. Because yeah, we have the Five of Cups and we have the Eight of Swords. They may not have the best view of themselves. They could crave love, honestly, or it's kind of giving they weren't affirmed when they were younger. They weren't told how good they were, how great they are. So the fact that you're giving them that, it's just like, it's life changing for them, you know? How you can so easily give a compliment and big someone up, breathe life into them in a way they never experienced, right? Because they could have grown up in a household where you were belittled instead of, praised, where you didn't get any compliments, you didn't get any physical touch, you didn't get any gifts, you didn't get any acts of service, like you were treated as an obligation. So when you find someone who truly enjoys being around you and they're willing to affirm that for you very often, it's kind of like a life change, like a flip, a switch went on, or a switch flipped. And now their life, before I met you, there was no sun in my sky. And now you're kind of acting as the sun in their sky. This person's kind of giving like, or these people, I should say, these men are definitely giving like sad boy, lover boy, and their feelings kind of boy, sad boy music kind of energy, where you listen to their music and you kind of feel their pain. They describe the act of being sad and lonely and like anxious so beautifully that you can feel it. Like some songs just make your chest hurt with how sad they are. The scene that people are describing so beautifully. One of my favorites, like sad boys, is like Conan Gray, because he just the way he sings the song, his voice is like magic, literal magic. And the way he writes his songs and just executes them, it's just like, wow. You know what I mean? Wow. Just have like sharp pain on my side. Don't do that. But it's definitely giving sad boy. Another sad boy, a certified lover boy, sad boy is Anson Seabra. I love me some him. Oh, he puts me in my feelings. That could be this person, like, or I keep saying this person. Guys, stop watching for a specific person. But men, okay, the effect you have on them is you make them feel every emotion, And they kind of like have nowhere else to hide, honestly. And it's something that they never really experienced before. So it's a new emotion. It's new feelings, new experiences that kind of make them excited to and want to spoil you. Because they want you to continue doing that, right? Everyone needs to be affirmed in the way they give love and receive love. So if you're always doing something for someone where they're not saying thank you or like making you feel cherished in return, I'm leaving. Like, what do you mean? So the fact that they have to like, keep up with you and, not even go tit for tat, but they have to give in some kind of way in order for you to continue giving. And it's something they happily and willingly do because they want to show their appreciation back for you. It's like giving that balance, that give and take vibe, But yeah, there could be something here about them like not having that before. So the fact that you're giving it to them, the affirmation, the love, I'm hearing the beauty, the lust for life kind of energy. It's something that kind of like draws them in essentially and makes them want to give you things in return because you give so much to them. Okay. But that's the songs that were coming through. Did we read? Yeah, we read that part already. But it's definitely given when you're in the trenches. You're like when they're in the trenches, you're kind of there for them. Whether they end up being a stranger, it's a man in your life, it doesn't really matter. It's giving men know that you're going to be there for them. You're going to nurture them and take care of them. And in return, they'll do the same thing for you. Like off rip. They don't want to even think about it. They don't have to think about it. You could like give like a very feminine presence that just like demands a man to like perk up and step up and do what needs to be done, essentially. Because you're giving them all the feminine traits. They have to bring the masculine traits now. Whatever gender you identify as. It doesn't really matter. Okay? But Ace of Pentacles is like giving you something you never had. Giving you that fresh start. Giving you an investment to continue building something until you can get to 10 of Pentacles and say, dang, like I've made it a long way. The Ace of Pentacles is like just the beginning of something. The Fool card is just the beginning of something. Right? And this Fool energy and the Ace of Pentacles energy is coming out right after the Eight of Swords, which is being stuck and not knowing which way to go, considering yourself a victim. You're no longer considering yourself a victim, or these men aren't. I guess I could say the men are no longer considering themselves victims because you come to kind of like save the day, But yeah, Five of Cups is also like crying over spilled milk energy. Maybe you make them emotional. You make them like physically cry, or you watch them cry and you don't like cuss them out for it to say, oh, you're weak or da 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 da. You know what I mean? You nurture their femininity if they're masculine. And I guess, vice versa. There was something here about your smile, right? I think that came through. But it's definitely giving romance because he says she loves love notes and babies. She likes giving gifts, has a hard time accepting a good compliment. So they want to lavish you with like just care. They want to be delicate with you. They want to nurture your emotions. That's like the kind of thing you bring out in them. Like I said, your femininity brings out their masculinity in whatever way that manifests for you and like what you identify as. Okay? But this is so beautiful. Please listen to these songs. Listen to them. If you love her, Forest Black, fall into me, Forest Black. That's it. When you need a safe place to fall, when they need a safe place to fall, you're right there. Right? Beautiful. Gorgeous. And this like Ace of Pentacles is kind of giving like a beautiful lush greenery, like a safe place for you to land, a meadow, That was good. That was better. Like, I don't know, these cards is kind of getting on my nerves now because why can't I show them properly? But it's like giving a garden, a sanctuary of sorts, That's the vibe that you kind of bring. And it soothes these two like erratic sides to them. The sides that think they're enough and the side that cries over everything that goes wrong. You're giving like, it's giving Cancer, crybaby. Okay? Oh my gosh. Stop it. Okay, so I'm hearing, there's two songs called Cry Baby. There's one by Melanie Martinez, but that's not the song that's coming through. I'm getting the one by Megan Thee Stallion. And it's funny because I was talking about this song a week ago. It's about to be a week ago. I was meeting up with some new people I met. We were playing like Dance Revolution, and then we ended up playing like Truth or Drink games, I think it was like Sin or Extra Sin or whatever it was called. And we were talking about, there was something yes. So the question was, the guy that we were hanging out with asked us girls, like, what advice would you give me about like, being with women or like giving them what they want? And we were giving him advice. And I'm like, okay, we asked you, you asked us, now we're asking you, what advice would you give us for how, like, what men like and whatever. And he was talking about how his like one ex-girlfriend was like a pillow, whatever you want, princess. She didn't do much, but she was also very demanding. No, those are two different people. He was talking about his ex was like very demanding. She would always be like, oh, move this way, move that way, more up, more down. Then when he would do that, no, do this, do that. And he was like, that's like, I don't know if he was trying to say it was a bad thing or a good thing, but he was talking about it. And so the other girl that was there, she was like, oh, so there's something wrong with that? And I'm like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, she knows what she wants. What's wrong with that? And she's like, I can't agree with you because I'm the same way. And then that immediately made me think of the song by Megan. I'm like, girl, you're giving Megan this time. She's like, don't F me like that. F me like this. I'm not going to say the F word up on here, child. But Megan and her in the song. And then the girl was like, oh, yeah, it's Crybaby. I love that song. So I'm talking about Crybabies. And then I heard that one line, forgetting that the song was called Crybaby. That's why I was like, I had to laugh. I'm like, that's crazy. But yeah, Megan Thee Stallion says, don't F me like that. F me like this. It's giving your vocal about what you want. And they love that. Because you're sitting pretty in your feminine energy saying, don't do me like that. Do me like this. Throw me over the shoulder. Do me like that. Da, 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 da. And it's like you're still in your feminine, but you're just demanding what you want. And that's something that's very sexy to this person here. It kind of gets them out of their head. Like, right? Because the Eight of Swords is very much being in your head. So if you're asking, you're being very vocal about what you want. They never have to guess what you want. Right? So that's why they like, you just ask and they say, hey, you take it. Yeah, of course you can have that. Go ahead now. Right? And then he was also talking about how he had another girlfriend where she would just lay there and not do anything. And then the other girl that was there was like, so are you saying it's a good thing or a bad thing? Because you're literally, explaining two sides of a coin. Someone who doesn't do much and then someone who wants you to please her the right way. What you mean? We're both here for the experience. Why are you trying to tell her she can't? Yeah, okay, don't do that, okay? But anyway, that's the vibe that's coming through that song. I have to give it the backstory, because why not? But that is definitely coming through Crybaby. There's also Crybaby by Melanie Martinez, right? So yeah, there's something here about maybe being a pretty little princess, right? Like you want people to do things for you. You sit there and you don't lift a finger. If the car, you're going to sit in the car until he opens the door, like that kind of thing. You want to be walked on the inside of the sidewalk because I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. What more do you want from me? Treat me like a girl, like treat me like a woman. Okay. And that's something that makes someone to treat you even more because they're like, okay, yeah, I have a woman right here. I can't just do whatever. Okay. Or I have a good man right here. I can't just do whatever. Right. I can't just say and do, I've been given this precious rare gem with the Ace of Pentacles. I got to nurture it for it to become the Ten of Pentacles that I would want, which would be like marriage and home life, long-term goals. First, I have this pretty little delicate seed. I have to water it, I have to plant it, I have to do for it. I have to make sure they're always in the right conditions. They're not too hot, not too cold. They have enough water. They're being fed, like all that kind of stuff, okay? So let's get into the other deck coming through here. That's what you bring out in these men, okay? It's the things that you do, which is what I meant to, get into the effects you have on them. So the effect they have on men that makes someone to spoil them silly and treat them right. Treat me like a treat me. So now Chloe's coming through. Okay, you guys could have big booties. And that makes someone do whatever you want because they don't want to lose a booty. Because Megan this time got a fatty, and so does Chloe. Okay? Here we have pleasure seekers. Okay, so it could be way up you're doing in the bedroom. That could be coming through. Here we have waiting. A lady in waiting is what this always gives me. This card always gives me a lady in waiting. But pleasure seekers is definitely giving one of the boys. They could be their true, honest, raunchy, immature, mature self. And then we have old woman. I want one more card. A lady in waiting is like old society term for women who are waiting to enter into society and find their husband, to be shown to the world, essentially. So that's what a lady in waiting, I think, means. So that's how they view you. That's what makes someone to even give even more, right? Because you give that womanly, innocent vibe to you. I'm getting what's her name? Is her name Penelope Featherington? Yes, Penelope Featherington from Bridgerton. How she was very much, on the outskirts. No one really paid her any mind kind of thing. But she was also, just feminine. The boobies could not be missed, okay? I don't know if she had a fatty on her, the booty, but it's giving feminine form. Gods, I must worship them. I must worship them kind of energy. They were put into my possession for a reason. This is funny, guys. What do you mean? Not possession. They were put in my path for a reason. I have to do everything I can to keep them kind of energy. But pleasure seekers is like maybe you let them be a guy. You let them hang out with friends, that kind of thing. Or you're just a good time. You're one of the guys. Could be a thing coming through as well. But here we have, is this widower? We have a widower. Maybe you help them heal after loss. It doesn't have to be taken literally. It doesn't have to mean they lost their husband or wife. Could be. But it doesn't have to be. It's just giving someone who's overcoming a loss. And that could be something you help them overcome. Like whenever they needed someone to talk to, there you were. See, and I'm hearing There You Are by Zayn. Only you know me the way you know me. Only you forgive me when I'm sorry. Even when I messed it up, there you are. Da-na-da-na-na-na. Let's see if I can look that song up. Only you know me the way you know me. Yes, Zayn. Zayn. Yes, he starts off the song by only you know me the way you know me. Only you forgive me when I'm sorry. Need you when I'm broken. Need you when I'm fixed. I need you when I'm well, when I'm sick. Friends that I rely on don't come through. They run like the river, but not you. You can't see me when I'm falling, losing myself, but then I hear you calling. There you are, there you are. You're there with open arms. There you are, there you are. And I run, okay? Whispers in the background, behind closed doors. I got myself in a mess, and without you, I'm in more. Oh, I'm a little drunk now. That's why I went to war. Oh yeah, you are my sober when I'm on the floor. Was it you guys that something about drinking being high or drunk came through? I think so. It was either, it was Fallen to Me or it was something. It was one of these songs. Something about, yes, I'm drunk on your voice, high on the moment from Fallen to Me. So this person could be drunk or high. And then here we have, oh, I'm a little drunk now. That's why I went to war. Oh yeah, you are my sober when I'm on the floor. So yes, bringing them back down to reality when they're in this mindset of being destructive and not really caring about themselves. You're there caring for them or making them care, right? Okay. So you could be the more dominant one, okay, in the connection where you kind of grab them up by the scruff of their neck and say, hey, get it together, right? Or you're the strong one in the connection when it comes to men. And they, yeah, you allow them to be their vulnerable self, essentially. And then we have a widower. So yeah, there's sadness here. There's grief, you know? And on opposite sides of the spread, we have pleasure seekers and then we have widower. So like when they're at their best and when they're at their worst, that's when you're there. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get these dice here. Where are they? We're going to start off with the zodiac sign. So this could be things that contribute to what makes someone spoil you more. It could be things about you, about them, or the things you bring out in them, or it could be just, you know, their zodiac signs or something like that. A specific set of signs you always attract. Here we have Aries and we have Sag. So we have fire signs on the table and only fire signs. So Sagittarians are very ambitious. They're very optimistic. They're very big about going after what they want. They are seekers. They love to learn more. Nothing's ever enough. They're never satisfied. And that could be something that you abide by or something that you don't judge them for. Because it's funny, I was reading a book, like I just finished the series. It was 4 books. Like yesterday, honestly. Yeah, it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. It was like by Alethea Romig or whatever, a romance author. And basically the guy in the book that she wrote about, I think the first book is called Red Sin and the next one is called Gold Lust and the next one is called Green Envy. Then the third one is called Gold Lust, I think. And the fourth one is called Black Knight. And basically the guy in the book, he doesn't pride himself on being, but he is very vocal about being someone who enough is never enough. He always wants more and more and more and more and more. And he's very open and vocal about being not even broken. That's crazy. Donovan Sherwood never said he was broken, but he tells her, he's very upfront with her about being very demanding. He's not perfect. He's done some things he's not proud of. But the one thing that she's always adamant about is you see me. You make me feel like my best self. So it doesn't matter what you've done. No one is perfect. I'm choosing you in this life. No matter all the things you've done, I want to be with you. I want to do this life with you and no one else. And that is all that mattered in that connection. You found me, because I think in the beginning of the first book, like she gets lost in like a blizzard and he sees her car and goes looking for her and they find each other. And then he tells her about the red sin theory that his grandma told him about, where there's people who meet and there's an immediate attraction. It could be love at first sight, but love is something that takes time. So it's like a lust at first sight and you just can't get enough of each other, you know, sexually, all that kind of stuff. But it builds and grows into love. You know what I mean? Quickly, because it was quick for them, the books. Yeah. And then he was like someone who was like a recluse and didn't like people or want to be around people or share his life with anyone until he met her. And then he started changing all his rules for her, you know? Started bending over backwards, wanting to fix her problems, be there for her. So he started off being the one that, you know, was the one that wasn't perfect. And then he ended up turning into the man he was at the end, which was better, you know, because of her. So, and she was very adamant about, okay, you've done bad things. Everyone has. No one's perfect. I'm still here for you. I still want to be with you. I still want to build this thing with you. And that was something that was very beautiful for me in the book. That's kind of what this is giving. This person has highs. This person has lows. You're there with them through each and every one of them. Or these men can figure that you're going to be there with them for through each and every one of their highs and lows. Okay. And they want to be there for you through yours. Because in the Fall Into Me song, or no, in the If You Love Her song, let me go back. Yeah. If If she gives you her heart, don't you break it. Let her your arms be the place she feels safe in. She's the best thing you ever had. But something here, yeah. Kiss her with passion as much as you can. Run your hands through her hair whenever she's sad. And when she doesn't notice how pretty she is, tell her over and over so she never forgets. So the things that they need in a partner, you're giving them. The things you need in a partner, they're giving you. So it's like equal give and take. When they're sad, you're cheering them up. When you're sad, they're cheering you up, right? When you need a little boost, here they are. There they are. When you need a little boost, there they go, right? Very beautiful, okay? Next, we have the planets. Let's get into it. We have Venus, so that love, organic love is what's coming through. Just the general or genuine care of another human being and wanting the best for them and wanting to be there for them and wanting them to love themselves and care for themselves and believe in themselves. So compliments and words of affirmation are very big for why men want to just like be dote on you, spoil you, okay? And then we have Mercury. So the things that you say, your mind, your communication style, okay? It could be your wits and your knowledge as well, because Mercury is about knowledge, okay? Teaching and reading and learning. Mercury is also considered the trickster god, so you can be a little bit of a trickster, a little bit playful, you know, witty, banter back and forth, that kind of thing. So when they need to be out of their head, you start teasing them, and you guys start laughing, or you tell them a joke, stuff like that, okay? But Venus is definitely beauty as well. All things beauty, all things, you know, luxury, all things nice, all things rich, you know, all things love, all things sex, stuff like that, okay? So that could be coming through as well when it comes to the connection between you and this person. You make them more in their thinking, thoughts, putting you first, considering you because of the love that they have acquired for you. Going after things, being better, being ambitious with the Sagittarius card. And then we have Aries as the same energy, right? Just a different font, okay? I do feel like Aries being the first sign is a little more immature, and then Sag being one of the last signs is giving the growth that you see through a fire sign, okay? Then we have the houses, 5th house, playfulness, charm, creativity. It's also the house of kids, so some of you could be coming from another group. So I do believe in one of the groups that was prominent, kids. I think it was last group, if I remember correctly. So some of you could have felt large group too. And then we have 9th house, which is that Sagittarius, learning, seeking, okay, exploring, right? You want to know, you want to have all the knowledge you possibly can. You're always, you know, doing something. That sounds just so lame. You're always doing something. No, you're always achieving and reaching newer heights, right? Nothing is ever good enough for you. And I don't mean it in like a bad way. You know what I mean? That ambition and drive that you have is also something that why they want to spoil you, because you will put in a lot of work and you're very hardworking as well. You could be someone who's like in school, who's studying, who works a lot, you know, you're very stressed out at work, at your house, whatever. And they kind of want to be that reprieve for you. They want to give you that sense of safety and security and taking care of you in a way that you always take care of others is the vibe that I'm getting mostly. Okay. But 9th house is very much like learning. Okay. It's also the house of spirituality. So you can be someone who's very spiritual and you have like very deep rooted, deep set beliefs that they also believe in, or you kind of give them something to believe in. And now I'm hearing that song by Cynthia Erivo. Is there anything worth holding on to? I wonder if we could get a few lyrics from that before we end the reading, because this is longer than I wanted it to be. There it is. No. Move. Don't piss me off. Okay, Anything Worth Holding On To by Cynthia Erivo and Scott Allen. It basically starts off, lately it seems I've lost inspiration. It feels like it's miles away. I sleep through the day, then cry through the nighttime. I'm caught in an empty space. So you could be dealing with men who like have like anxiety, or I'm hearing despair. That's what came out here, right? No, that was widower. Depression, there it is. That's the word I was looking for. I'm caught in an empty space. It takes effort to find. I don't have the strength. I'm holding on to what's still left of me. When the life you have planned slowly slips through your hands, when it feels like you just slept through all of the best years of your life, when you can't find your way, when each day ends the same, when you have lost the fight inside of you, is there anything worth holding on to? So you might just be the person they're able to hold on to, which is very beautiful. Better open back up and stop playing in my face. Shoot. Okay, that can go, 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 and that can go. Okay, sorry, I was just exiting out all the pages. Okay, so that's what's coming through for you guys, honestly. I feel like that's, you make them want to be a better person, right? You make them not want to give up and succumb to the darkness or the sadness, right? Because that's very easy for most people to do. Oh, nothing's getting better, I need to go, right? You know? But yeah, hold on. I'm like, what is going on here? But yeah, that's what I have for you guys. I'm sorry, I'm just sitting here spending more time with y'all. Okay, we just hanging all right at this point. But yeah, that's what's coming through for y'all. Anything else coming through though? Maybe you're just patient with them. Waiting is kind of like giving patient. Not only lady in waiting is giving, you're very patient with them. They see that you as someone who's very patient, you know, and it's like just giving a lot of reciprocation coming through here. The things that they do for you, do for them. So that's something they really like and really enjoy and really appreciate, you know, men. The equal effort, okay, equal engagement is something coming through as well. So that could be something, a little tit for tat, if you will. If you are on social media, they like for like, follow for follow kind of thing, if that makes more sense to you. I'm speaking your language now. But yeah, I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me. It's my email in the description box below. If you just want to reach out, say hi, inquiries, whatever, description box, email, okay? But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.